Listen, it's a pleasure for me to bring on Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor is here, and y'all don't know, but when Fred Taylor was a member of the New England Patriots, I was doing radio at the time, and we had weekly guests.
Yep.
Fred Taylor was one of the weekly guests, and I always enjoyed your appearances, Fred. I was just telling you that I would learn something every time you came on. So I'm not surprised to see you kind of elevate in the media space, because I'm glad to have an opportunity to tell you this. The interview you all did at Mike Tomlin's house.
Yeah.
In his basement or somewhere.
Yeah, in his basement.
In his basement.
Yep.
Was phenomenal.
Thank you.
That was one of the realest, most insightful interviews I've heard.
I had to remind Mike T that when I was a free agent, before I got to New England, I was like, hey, the damage that I did to the Steelers over the years, at least consider to bringing me in.
I remember you bringing that up.
Yeah, but they had some really good young running backs then. You know, Rashard Mendenhall, a solid running back in his right, and not just in his right, but amongst, backs in the league. You know, he was definitely putting in work. And then I had an opportunity in free agency to visit Buffalo, to visit Cincinnati, which I turned down. But I did visit Buffalo. And from Buffalo, I got a call and said the Patriots, a place that I actually wanted to visit, ended up calling. Canceled my trip, kind of redirected everything, went to New England, went in with Bill, and basically said, hey, I want to be a Patriot. He said, all right, keep it out of the media. Don't say nothing. Shook hands on it. He said, give us time to figure something out. He was like, so what are you looking for? I just told him this is what I would probably expect from a contract basis, which I wanted to win a ring. The money wasn't the priority. I wanted to win a ring. So my time in New England, I like to call it one of the greatest experiences in my 13 years in the NFL, right? But it was for a cup of coffee. And not the two worst years in Patriot history, but just unfortunate in timing, in between multiple championships. That little 2-year carve out, I'm like timing is everything.
You're like, where's this? Where's the Super Bowl thing? This is supposed to be a no-brainer. I'm in New England, right?
We know how tough it is, right?
Yeah.
But kind of like because we're in Vegas, I'll compare it to playing blackjack. When you need a 20 and you get a 3, and then you have 13, you get a 3. The next card is a 7, and it busts you when you needed the 7 before. So timing is everything. But, man, I enjoyed coming in there doing sit-downs with you guys. You guys always, treated me as the player I was then and allowed me to have good conversation with y'all about my career, the state of the Patriots, and everything. So, man, I appreciate those moments.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun. And you mentioned Belichick. I've been asking a lot of people about this. He is shut out of this hiring cycle.
Yeah.
Are you surprised, one, that he doesn't have a job, two, that it got so bad in New England where they were talking about parting ways after a 4-13 season?
Yeah, I understand the business. So necessarily not surprised in those regards. Plus, he's not getting younger, but I understand Coach Belichick and what he stands for. He just wants to win. He wants to go in there and do business as business is being done, which is one of my favorite phrases from him all time. Surprised that he didn't get another job opportunity, yes, but I do understand, the business. I understand it seems that the coaching in the NFL is getting younger, like the league has evolved, even in those coaching spaces where head coaches, they're getting younger as well. So maybe that also has something to do with it. Teams, you have to have a certain culture in a locker room. And maybe they felt that, those years that Belichick did it his way weren't going to marry up and match the evolution and how, that space in a locker room is evolving. So, still, it doesn't take away from his legend. Still one of the greatest to ever do it. He has an amazing resume. Obviously, he's a first ballot NFL Hall of Fame head coach. And I'll always, talk about my experience and time in New England and how, as a 11-year vet going there, just being able to transition, how easy it was to buy into their message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not even the Patriot way, because it was simply the Patriot way was like, we're going to work. We're going to have a sense of urgency. We're going to minimize distractions. We're going to, think about team first and be selfless. Not think about superstardom. We're going to think about the next guy to you. And really, that simplified what people had started to name the Patriot Way. And that trickled down from Coach Belichick.
You're representing Crown Royal today. What's going on with Crown Royal? I thought when I saw Fred Taylor Crown Royal, I was saying, okay, I'm good.
Come with a little gift.
Yeah, like, what's up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can holler at one of the reps and make something happen for you. But you got to drink responsibly.
Yes.
Got to always remind you that.
That's right.
Just here talking about the partnership. Crown's been amazing. Having that partnership is something that I learned in my playing time was having great relationships that evolved to partnerships and being able to display messages back and forth. But on behalf of Crown, I was selected to have the duty to present my good friend Nate Burleson with a Lifetime Achievement Impact Award on behalf of Crown. Nate deserves a crown. And what Nate did, or what Nate does, is his favorite charity, which is the Michigan Veterans Foundation charity. On behalf of Crown, we presented Nate with a $25,000 check to the Michigan Veteran Foundation, which helps veterans in transition secure housing. So it's a big agenda on behalf of Nate, and Crown being able to come in and partner at the Soulful NFL Soulful celebration was amazing.
Man, that's a great thing. First of all, it's a great on the part of Crown Royal, and then you talk about Nate Burleson.
Yeah.
And it's back to what we've talked about before. To make that transition from football to media, you're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys make it look easy. I know it's not easy, right?
We grind. It looks easy because we have fun.
Right.
We understand. Like in life, you have to simplify things, right? Sometimes you have to step away and look at, like you're watching a movie. Mm-hmm. Like you can look at this movie and you can kind of figure out the plot and say, oh, this is going to happen. Why aren't they doing this, or they got to do that? In life, sometimes you got to step back and look at things. We understand our podcast or the podcast space. What makes the podcast? The people. Football, what makes the game good? Like the sport, the fans. Right. Without the fans in the stands, naturally we're going to compete, but the fans out there, it makes the game that much better.
Yeah, it takes it up a little
bit. And when you
bit.
put them first and you take that approach and you understand that they're a big piece of it, just like the podcast space or what you do with radio, you understand your viewers, your listeners are out there, and you put them first, right? You want to give back to them, then you can go and do great work, right? So we study. We don't want to be disrespectful to the guest, the subject. So we want to study and bring out nuggets that they don't know about. If we can get to a friend or somebody close to you, we're going to ask about something that maybe you don't know that everybody knows. But we're doing that for the fans, right? For the listeners, our viewers, our subscribers. And that just drives us to want to do great content or have great conversations. We don't care about the views. That's a byproduct.
It was a byproduct. Once you
learn,
do everything, if you do it just like in football, if you take care of all the things you're supposed to take care of, good things will probably happen.
Good things are going to happen. So in that sense, man, I'm a part. I'm proud to be a part of the Pivot team. Channing Crowder, Ryan Clark. We're all different. Give different perspectives. We have a great balance and chemistry. Our producer came over from NFL Films from back in the day. Alicia Zubakowski, shout out AZ. She's great at what she does. I think she has 12 or 13 Emmys.
Oh, that's all.
So we have a really good product.
Yeah. Fred, man, always great to see you. I'm glad to hear you're doing so well. Thanks for stopping by, man.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you, bro, for sure.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.